guys, Coach Danny here to break down one of my favorite stretches for people with carpal tunnel, elbow tendonitis, tight wrists, tight shoulders. Believe it or not, if you have a shoulder pain in the front of your shoulder, maybe it hurts when you do this, maybe it hurts when you do this, or when you reach overhead, or if you can imagine driving in your car and reaching behind you into the back seat, if that motion kind of makes you cringe a little bit with your shoulder, oftentimes it stems from a tight bicep tendon. Hear me out on this. Your bicep, the insertion point, reaches all, if you feel your bicep, all the way up to where it ends. You're going to realize that that bicep doesn't end right here. It actually goes underneath the shoulder and it inserts deep inside that shoulder socket. Okay, so when that bicep tendon gets really tight, it pulls this way. It pulls on the shoulder and it throws it out of whack. So a lot of times people will come to me and say, Danny, my shoulder hurts, my shoulder hurts. I prescribe this stretch and then all of a sudden it feels better because we loosened up the bicep tendon. Number two, I want to make sure that we're all on the same page here, is the fact that we're all in this position often, whether we're on our phone, whether we're on our computer, whether we're on our driving in our car, our arms are constantly in this position, which means that the bicep is shortening. The more the bicep shortens, the more likely we are to have some sort of a problem that's similar to this. So now, how do you fix it? My wall stretch, I love this stretch. Your hand stays flat on the wall, okay? So I'm hoping I got the right angle here. So your hand stays flat on the wall. Fingers should be spread nice and wide. Think like a duck's feet, like webbed feet. And then from there, your arm is fully locked out. Hand, wrist should be in line with the shoulder. Shouldn't be too high, shouldn't be too low. And then from there, you're rotating your body towards, away from the wall. Hold this for anywhere between 15 to 60 seconds, depending on how tight you are. And then number two, you want to make sure that you're targeting the right angle. There's 4 angles essentially. You can go down with the, look at the thumb. That's like an arrow. Your thumb is like the arrow or a dial. From here, you go down. For me, okay, that's not all that tight. I'm probably not going to spend much of my time in this position. But then I switch it to this angle, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I can feel it a little bit more. Probably should spend more time in this position as opposed to the last one. But then I get into this one right here, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So whichever angle is the most tight for you is the angle that you should spend the most time in. And then last but definitely not least, the other angle here where your fingers are pointed down like this. Okay, so you want to make sure you're experimenting with this a little bit. Find the area that's most tight for you. Spend 15 to 60 seconds 3 times a day, morning, evening, afternoon. And then as you accumulate more time in this position, that bicep tendon will loosen up and hopefully all of that pain will subside. I hope it helps you guys. If this helped you, remember to share it with somebody that needs it. Subscribe to the channel, like it, and I'll see you guys next time.